I want to be your next speaker at your conference or something along those lines. And so I love being a content creator. And one thing that I really want to do more of is keynote speeches or even panels. And I have been trying to get my foot in the door for quite some time. And I had some experiences that I wanted to share with you. And so maybe if you're a potential recruiter for a conference, or maybe if you're just interested in the content I make and you want to know what kind of keynotes I would do, I'm making this video. So first and foremost, I'm a content creator. I'm on the camera all the time. I've made 800 blog posts, hundreds of videos, hundreds of podcasts, and I've actually been on 80 plus podcasts as a guest, including a lot of live ones too, which definitely got me in that mindset of being on present in the moment and experiencing how I should be presenting myself to you. And even in that moment there, I slowed down. I remembered to breathe and execute the words that I want to convey to you in a more proper manner. I can turn down the lighting actually now I think about it. And so this idea of being a keynote speaker has been something on my mind for a long time. It's the same thing with podcasting. I always wanted to be on other shows and do interviews. And now that I've had experiences in real life and digitally, I wanted to share those with you. For example, last month I did my first panel. And so there was a Polymath festival and I wanted to be a part of it. And the organizer said, okay, let's have you host a panel of polymathy researchers, two of which I've already interviewed once, one of them actually more than one time on my shows, and actually interviewed the other one at least once, and then I talked to the other one about doing an interview down the line. So all three people that I had on the panel, I had known well, which is great, but I'm not always going to know everybody on the panel, but I can learn them quickly. And I've had that experience with being a host of around 200 plus podcast interviews where I've had to either do research a week ahead of time or even a day ahead of time, depending on the time crunch. And so I have had the ability to do that research very quickly if I have someone I don't necessarily know right off the bat. And that panel actually went off pretty well. We were able to talk about polymathy in the workplace and the modern approach to it and how it relates to academia and how to actually implement it into the real world. And that was something that was really amazing, being able to host that panel, make sure each person got their own chance to speak and explain their ideas effectively and fully. And then actually coming up next week at the time of this recording, I'll be conducting a workshop around how to organize a polymathic life, which is one of my main niches. And so one of the things I would actually talk about at a keynote would be my multidisciplinary spectrum, which is allowing people to understand how to level up to the term polymath. Whether you are a jack of all trades or a generalist, a multipotentialite, whatever term you align yourself with, there is a step forward you can do, a way to level up to that multi-specialist level of a polymath. That is one topic. One topic I think I might be more interested in the near future is actually around content creation. I created what I call the creator equation. Strategy plus automation times execution equals success. And that equation allows for a content creator like myself, or maybe someone like you watching, to accelerate their growth and understand what it takes to get from point A to point B and maybe even all the way to Z. And that is the reason why I wanted to start doing more keynotes, to explain that idea more effectively, get the practice of doing it more effectively, and being able to express myself and these ideas in front of a crowd. I love talking to people. I love sharing ideas. I love teaching. I've been a coach for over a decade when it came to swim lessons and even coaching for digital media and social media marketing and content creation in the recent years. And so this idea of sharing an idea is something deeply ingrained into who I am and what I want to be in the world and in the future. And actually last week I was at Vid Summit and I had the opportunity during a meetup to present Opus Clip, a company I partner with, in front of a crowd. It was about 40, 50 people and it was completely impromptu. They were like, hey, we just want someone representing the company to explain what it does and basically answer any questions. And I was able to get up in front of the whole crowd without thinking about what I needed to say right off the bat and explain the idea of what Opus Clip does, how it's a content repurposing tool, take your long form videos, turn it into shorts, and that kind of thing. And so while this video might seem very excited, I am excited, and that is why I am not going to edit this down. I'm just going to give you the full energy, and when I do an actual keynote or performance, I will tone it down, make sure that my articulation is very acute and able to explain the ideas simply and concisely. And that is it. I just want to share with you all my experience and what I'm hoping to do in the future.